Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in live from Corpus Christi. Brendan Price with you. Game 1 of the South Division play-in round. Colorado, their first ever berth in the Robertson Cup playoffs. Their road to the Robbie starts tonight here in the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. The 6th seed, the Colorado Grit, against the number 2 seed, the Corpus Christi IceRays. If you had asked these two teams and really the rest of the South Division a year ago if they thought Colorado and Corpus Christi would be meeting in a first-round playoff series, the futures bet would have been an awfully long odd for these two franchises, but here they sit. Best of 3, getting ready to get going here tonight. These are two of the most improved teams in the North American League this season. Corpus Christi picked up an additional 16 wins and 31 points from their total a year ago. They were an 8th place side in 2023-24, but behind Sylvain Cloutier, they storm into the playoffs as the number 2 seed this year in the South Division. For Colorado, their turnaround equally as impressive. They nearly double their win total from their expansion season. They add 11 wins from last year. They pick up an additional 27 points, and they clinched a playoff berth last Friday in Odessa with a wild 8-6 win over the Jackalopes. For Colorado and Corpus Christi, these two teams coming in a bit different form from each other. The IceRays, for most of the year, had the number 2 seed really locked up, and then they hit the skids down the stretch. The IceRays dropping 5 of their last 7 games, including getting swept in the regular season finale by Shreveport. That allowed the Mudbugs to overtake Corpus Christi, bounce Corpus into this play-in round here this weekend. For Colorado, they clinched their playoff berth on Friday. They came back and forced overtime in a 5-4 loss on Sunday in Amarillo to end the year 23-24, 8-4. We mentioned that this is the team's first ever playoff berth. Again, nearly double their win total from a year ago. And in talking with the coaching staff coming into today's game, one of the things that they mentioned was this is a veteran-laden group, a lot of 20-year-olds. Many of them have played on a big stage before. They are not bereft of playoff experience individually coming into play tonight, but it is going to be a different feel for this team as a group conquering this hurdle for the first time together. The Colorado offense trying to get going against Corpus Christi. These two teams have not played since early November, and so much has changed personnel-wise, so much has changed logistics-wise for these two sides since then. The last time that Colorado played Corpus Christi, that was back on November 8th and 9th at the Greeley Ice House. The IceRays got a 2-game sweep over Colorado. Corpus Christi won the regular season series, picking up 3 wins in 4 tries, but they all 4, as was the case with many games for Colorado this year, all 4 games were close. One of them a 1-goal game and 3 2-goal games between these two franchises this year. And for these two teams, we talk about how different form-wise they've been coming into play tonight. Corpus Christi dropping 5 of their last 7, and it's not just that the visitors have fallen by the wayside over the last 3.5 weeks. It's that an area that had been very good for them in the first half of the year has not been that stable the second half of the year. Corpus Christi has allowed 4 goals or more in 6 of their last 7 contests down the stretch, and it's an IceRays team that has struggled in some respects in replacing Nikita Volsky, who left mid-season. Tonight they'll turn to Benji Motu, and the Maryland Black Bear acquisition, making his first start against Colorado this season. He's been solid down the stretch for the IceRays, but it's a first look for him at the Colorado offense. For the Grit, they'll start the 20-year-old Pete Sterling between the pipes, and the last time out, Sterling was excellent. That was on Saturday night in Odessa. Despite the 2-0 defeat, Sterling looked sharp. He made 21 saves, and he's a guy that on the road can give you some big performances if you're Colorado. The starting lineup tonight for the Grit: one change up front and potentially a big one. George Poirier will slide up onto the wing on the first line. He'll start alongside Willie Johnson and Luca Ori. Alex Gurman and Carson Pavlovich will start on the blue line for Colorado, and we mentioned Pistol Pete between the pipes. The rest of the starting lineup tonight for Colorado: Lucas Mann, Ben Rakowski, and Sheldon Ryu, the second line. Noah Grolnick, Landon West, and Nick Noble, the third line. Kenan Riles, Nolan Smith, and Quinn Bowden, the fourth line. Braden Junker, Evan Smutney, the first deep pairing. Luke Helgeson and Cole Peters, the third. And Gunnar Gleesman, the extra skater tonight. Colorado coming in, they've been great in close games. They've been good on the road down the stretch, and they will come to a building in which they have never lost consecutive games. They've split both trips they made to the American Bank Center over the last 2 seasons. But this is a brand new ball game down the stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Postseason hockey for Colorado for the first time in franchise history. They'll look to get off to a good showing. One of the things that the Grit have struggled with over the last 2.5, 3 weeks has been scoring first. But this is a resilient black sand and red side, and so it hasn't been something that's bothered them all that much down the stretch. But if you're the Colorado coaching staff, you desperately want to put the first puck behind Benji Moto, get off to a good, or Motu, excuse me, get off to a fast start and put the home side on the back foot. Colorado on the road this year, especially in close games, has been very good. We just talked about that moments ago. In 1-goal games on the road, Colorado 5-2, 4-1 in the regular season, a winning record in 1-goal games as a group. This team, in many ways, talking to the Colorado coaching staff, feels built for postseason play. They've got the top line scorers. They've got the bottom 6 guys that can make a difference in the postseason. And the question will be, can they get off to a fast start tonight against Corpus Christi, grab the front foot in the series, and pick up what would be a pivotal 1-0 series lead in this best of 3. For Corpus Christi, the IceRays, coached by Sylvain Cloutier, Colorado's first ever franchise playoff berth. Took them just 2 seasons to get there. For the IceRays, they've waited a bit longer. Their first playoff appearance in 5 years for the IceRays, the first under head coach Sylvain Cloutier. And they'll start, no surprises up front, Pearson Sobush, Troy Pelton, and Cody Kemp. They'll start Pierre-Olivier Allard and Andrew Hayek on the blue line. And we alluded to Benji Motu between the pipes tonight for Corpus Christi. Again, the IceRays, one of the most stable teams in the South Division, which, given the way things have gone this year, that's saying a lot because a lot of teams have kept their core around for most of the year. And this IceRays side, 17 skaters in their starting lineup tonight, have played 40-plus games with the number 3 seed IceRays this season. A lot of familiar faces on these 2 sides, and we are moments away from puck drop here tonight at the American Bank Center. A big thank you to Grit Country for joining in, whether it's on NAHLTv or on the audio stream on YouTube. Thrilled to have you aboard for Game 1, the first ever Colorado postseason game. We'll stick it on commercial for the national anthem. When we return, we'll get you ready for puck drop tonight in Corpus Christi. The road to the Robbie begins after this. A stirring edition of the national anthem befit for the big stage, and that is what we have coming to you tonight from the American Bank Center, Colorado. In their road black jerseys, they've gotten quite comfortable in those, their 7th consecutive road game, and this one the biggest of the 7. Again, the starting lineup tonight: Poirier, Johnson, and Ori up top. Alex Gurman, Carson Pavlovich on the blue line, and Pete Sterling, the Manassas, Virginia product, will get the start between the pipes. One of a handful of Colorado skaters that endured a rocky ride in the inaugural season a year ago, and the goal was always this: get to the postseason, give yourself a chance to get to the Robertson Cup finals in Blaine. And the pursuit moments away from getting underway. Colorado will go right to left in the first period. Corpus Christi left to right. Pelton and Johnson will head to center. Our referee tonight, Mr. Baker, checks with the goaltenders, checks with the scorers box. And the road to the Robbie starts with an IceRays face-off win. Allard back to fetch it, quickly pressured by Ori. One of the things the Colorado coaching staff said they wanted to do tonight was really try and get the puck in behind this IceRays defense, make them chase the puck and use the speed. Sobush tries to throw this to the front, looking for Pelton. Poirier will take it away. He'll lob it for Ori, takes the body and shoves it along for GP19. 24 goals in the regular season, a franchise single-season record for the second-year grit forward. Now it's Kemp, sidesteps Rakowski, works through the neutral zone. He'll go east to west looking for Pelton, a bad pass, and Rakowski will scoop it up. Ryu forces the issue on Caden Morgan. A one-time jackalope acquired before the deadline. Man, Ryu holds and waits, drops it. Smutny, his shot hit the crossbar. Morgan plowed Rakowski into the bar as well, simultaneous to the shot. And it's that extra piece of patience for Sheldon Ryu right there. I mean, down the stretch, the second-year forward has been red hot for Colorado. 9 points in his last 10 games. Got the commitment to Brown as well. He's out with Ben Rakowski and Lucas Mann. And Rakowski sliding over to center tonight on this second line. That's the position he feels the most comfortable in. Played center most of his youth hockey career and has really had to move off to that left wing to accommodate Colorado not having, at times, as much depth on the outside. Coaching staff thrilled that they can get Rakowski back to his natural position tonight. Green into the zone, tries to toss it towards the front of the net. Sterling gets that away, and now Ryu can't exit the zone. Rakowski will pick it back up. The rookie Cole Peters steps over the grit line, will chip this in the neutral zone, picked up by Carter Krenke. Krenke, 1-on-2, drives into the high slot, has that one knocked off his stick. Randstrom will pick it up. 40-plus assists for Randstrom at the point this year for the IceRays, who love to put the puck on net from the blue line. Conway up top for Randstrom. The lefty thought about the shot, scoots around Grolnick, and now gets underneath. Pulls a pass back out in front, taken away by Conway. Dances to the front, the pass across, and Pete Sterling sliding to the left post. His finest save in the early going, makes another body save in front. Colorado still can't exit the zone. Conway puts it in front, deflects off West. And now Westy out of the Colorado end. Looks for Krolnick on the outlet. Noah has that one go for icing. And Alex Gurman is making a case at the officials since it caromed off the end boards. And Matu went ahead and played it, excuse me. But the faceoff will come back into the Colorado zone. And again, when the Grit arrived in Corpus Christi on Thursday evening, came to the rink right away. dropped all the stuff off, and everyone took a long gander at the surroundings here at the American Bank Center. Krolnick into the left wing corner. They said they want to have an opportunity to make a statement in this kind of setting, in this kind of building, in this kind of circumstance. IceRays across the line will wire that one in deep off the end boards. Morgan swipes at it. Krolnick will get it from Noble. Krolnick at the left point will toss this one in deep, And now Konovich, the New Hampshire commit, will outlet for Morgan. Colorado putting bodies forward on the forecheck. First shift of the night for the fourth line. Bowden, Riles, and Nolan Smith, they had a very good weekend to close out the regular season. Smitty had a goal and an assist on Sunday. Riles, a goal on Friday. Bowden, an assist on Friday. And this time of year, you need all 4 lines, all 19 skaters to be ready at the call. Johnson against his opposite number, Troy Pelton, in the face-off circle. And just as quickly, Johnson gets the boot, and GP19 will step in and take the draw. Pelton out of the tie-up. Poirier, now Ori tries to jam it free at the left point. Junker goes for the pinch. 2-on-1 for the IceRays. Pelton shimmies, waits across, and Poirier just interrupted the stick of Pearson Sobush, the captain. Now Pelton from the left wing circle whistles one wide. Sobush goes to work again. Selected in the first round of the North American League entry draft in 23-24. 16:30 to go here in the first period. Just underway tonight in Corpus Christi, right on the water here at the American Bank Center. That is not an exaggeration, folks. The front doors to the arena, at least on the side we're on, they lead right onto the sidewalk, and across from the sidewalk is the bay. I could truly throw a rock and hit water from the arena here. Man across the Corpus line tries to drop it for Rakowski, and good keep at the right point from Smutny. The reprieve only momentary. IceRays put it in deep. Sterling after it. He'll shovel it around. Reardon from the wall throws one off the mark. It'll skip past Randstrom and back into the IceRays zone. Sterling on the year, 9-11, 3-0 with a 3.10 goals allowed average. He has been at his best on the road in spots like this, though. Has helped negate the absence felt when Jack Erickson left for Bentley at the midway mark. Reardon's shot blocked aside by Sterling, and now Rakowski hits Ryu. Look out, cook out. Ryu leads Helgeson, slides it across, man, dangles, waits, scores! Lucas Mann off and running at the ABC. The franchise's longest point streak keeps cooking. The Manimal puts Colorado on top. A beautifully developed play through the neutral zone. Ryu knew the hit was coming, took it, fed it to Helgeson in the slot. A backhand pass across to Mann on the left wing, and 4:29 into the first period. It's Colorado on top away from home again. Stretch pass for Kuznetsov through the neutral zone, hits the trailer. Conway, the Colorado College commit, dances on the near wing half wall. That one's pulled out into the neutral zone and give it away. Krolnick up to the races. It's a hooking penalty on Corpus Christi, and will it be a penalty shot or not? Krolnick looked like he had a step. And everyone looks like they're headed to the bench. So just a garden variety power play for Colorado as Andrew Hayek, the dual national from both the U.S. and Czechia, gets hit with the minor penalty. And man, what a statement this could be for Colorado in the early going. 15:06 to go in the first period. They go to the power play for the first time tonight. Colorado 1 for 3 on the man advantage in their regular season finale in Amarillo. Poirier will wind it around to the near point for Smutny. Johnson, left wing half wall downstairs for Ori. Number 1 unit out for Colorado. Ori goes rink wide. Gurman, his shot from the right wing circle, blocked down. Gurms gets it back. 7 power play goals this year for the captain. That paces all defensemen in the North American League. Smutny, his partner, edges into the right wing. Smutny in the corner, doesn't like what he sees. Recycles it to the near side for Johnson. Ori out of the corner. Skips past a poke check and the linesman. Trades places with Gurman. Giveaway, but the IceRays can't clear the zone. Colorado still around the horn with possession. Johnson, now Gurman. Smutny towards the net. The redirection stop. Johnson tries to throw it in front. And a stick save by Matu. A big stop there for the IceRay goalie. Smutny whipped on the pass. Puck comes into the low slot. And Corpus Christi finally able to clear the zone. 55 seconds left on the grit power play. 2 forecheckers forward for Corpus. Pelton and Sobush at the top of the kill. Junker gathers this puck up, slips through man stick. Now Ryu falls kindly. Helgeson surges to the front, waits, dangles, and a left pad save. Motu comes up large again. Colorado all over it offensively right now. Man, now Junker, top of the slot, waits. Man, from the left wing circle, sidesteps the dive from Allard. Junker towards the net and a glove save by Matu. And Colorado, everything but a goal so far on this power play. They are asking all the right questions. Benji Matu. And one of the things already in the early going for Colorado that you see a distinct difference, I think, over the last couple of weekends is what they really want to do is get behind this IceRay blue line. They're patient, they're holding on to the puck, and it's creating a lot of separation down low. The tip from West in front, patted aside by Matu. Now West out from underneath, harassed in the corner, gets it up on the half wall. Grolnick will wind it back around the dasher. IceRays clear the zone, and Corpus Christi back at full strength. 13:01 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Colorado. Lucas Mann with the first playoff goal in franchise history. Pavlovich lobs off glass. West has that one chopped away in the neutral zone, and now Kuznetsov off to work offside coming across the line. As Stepan Kuznetsov, as hot as it gets coming into postseason play. 26 points in his last 13 games. And he's one of those guys for this Corpus Christi offense that when they get dialed in, this can be trouble. Again, Corpus Christi on the season, they average almost 3.5 goals a night. That's second in the North American League across the regular season. They hung some awfully crooked numbers against their opponents during the regular season. In fact, despite the fact that the results didn't go the IceRays' way down the stretch, falling into that number 3 seed and having to play in the play-in round, offensively, they have been very dangerous down the stretch. Even with the losses going into their series against Shreveport, they had scored 4 in a row, or 4+ rather, in 4 in a row, including hanging 7 on Odessa. Oh, again, the early lead for Colorado looms large in many respects. Gives you time to breathe and not have to chase against this high-powered IceRay side. Smutny will tip this along. The rookie Gunnar Gleesman. Now Smith turns and waits, tries to hit Riles through the neutral zone. Cranky on the re-entry. Out of the right wing corner, has Junker right on top of him, and the Junkyard Dog takes it away. Cranky tries to spin that one towards goal. Really anthemic of the IceRay turnaround. Cranky had 5 goals last year, 21 this year. Over quadrupled his goal total. That pass to the front of the net, broken up, and now the IceRays on the move. Cooper Conway flies down the left wing. Smutny takes him off the puck. Conway claiming a high stick, he won't get it. IceRays go to work. Allard. Now Kuznetsov off the hat wall. Allard through traffic. That effort blocked away in the slot. Pinballs off a couple bodies. Now Smutny tries to turn forward. The number 5 overall pick in the North American League draft this summer. Puts that one up into the bench and out of play. Again, best of 3 series here this weekend. All the games in the play-in round are at the host team venue. Tonight, 7:35 puck drop local time. Tomorrow night, 7:35, and if necessary, 3:05 on Sunday. Gerhard tied up on the far wing wall. Ori and Helgeson go to work. They jam it free. Now Johnson will one-hand it in. Gets it right back, though. Johnson sidesteps Stobush. Whacks it up to the point. Peters, smart play. Really regather in the neutral zone. No sense in forcing it in for the rookie. Scored his first junior goal on the road in New Mexico a couple weeks back, and it's Peters on his horse trying to force the issue. Rams into Gerhard. And now Helgeson, one of those 20-year-olds with a ton of experience on the blue line for Colorado. He'll head off the ice. Peters from the neutral zone forces a right pad save from Matu. Now Peters still going to work on Kemp. Stobush, the IceRays captain, rink wide, stretch pass for Kemp, picked up by Rakowski. Now it's Lucas Mann. Waits, Ryu tries to jab at the puck at the point. Mann still digging away, and it finally bounces into the neutral zone. Pavlovich, steady hands. Will push that back into the IceRays zone. Stobush will wait. He'll rip that one around to the near side wall. Kemp tries to go to work with Pelton. Kemp's shot was broken up, still slid towards Sterling. Slowing up where Stobush nearly got a round on it. And Colorado in the early going, 9.5 minutes gone in the first period, have done a good job keeping Corpus Christi away from the front of the net. That's what the IceRays want to do. Again, they like to load up from the blue line, get that shot on goal in traffic, capitalize on the loose puck in front. Pavlovich will knock it forward for Noble, east to west. Landed in stride, left wing circle, low shot. Motu didn't handle it cleanly, and the spill sets up nicely for the IceRays in transition. Reardon down the right-hand side, puts it in front, banked it off the base of the goal. Watson now back around Reardon. Up the far wing wall, the Holy Cross commit will cycle it down low for Watson. Corpus Christi has only had one good 5-on-5 cycle in the first half of this first period. Credit to the Grit defense for that. West on the pass across the line, waits, dances, tries to get to the front of the net, and he's knocked off the puck. West, a big collision in front, and the IceRays will move it forward. Kuznetsov out of his own zone. Fourth-year IceRay, nearly 200 games in an IceRay sweater, and in his 20-bomb season, he's rewarded with the first playoff action of his career. Riles feels the heat, goes around to Junker. Left wing corner. Colorado, a big emphasis was chipping the puck off glass, getting it out immediately. That was something the coaching staff said they wanted to do right away. Don't want to make things worse in their own end by trying to skate the puck out. And so early on, when Colorado has a chance, Smith, right on cue, rolls it up the half wall. Bowden, outlets for Riles, and Colorado will again push the puck into the neutral zone. Full head of steam, Biederman flying down the near side. 2 left pad saves from Sterling, only able to whack the rebound as far as Krenke. That one's chipped up and out of play with 8:38 to go here in the first period. 1-0 Colorado, thanks to Lucas Mann scoring his first career playoff goal. We'll step aside for a quick break here watching Colorado Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. As a reminder, Colorado Grit season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now. And get them while they're still there, going fast. And you've got the early bird rate in effect until April 30th. Get your season tickets discounted, lock down your seat for the best junior hockey in Colorado. A grit, if they advance out of this play-in round, are guaranteed at least one playoff game at home. But that's simply hypothetical in the future. You've got to take care of business this weekend first. Johnson and Pelton will face off. Clean win for Pelton. Comes straight back. Now peeling away Randstrom. D-to-D. Perot sets it up. And he'll toss this one in deep. Sobush tries to backhand it in front. Biscuit still rolling around in the net frame. And Colorado will come out of their own zone. Luca Ori, full head of steam. 15 goals in the regular season. Great jump pass for Johnson. His softball flutters wide. May have been deflected on the way through. Ori in the corner, bodied up by Perot. And now it's Johnson. He'll try and feather one down low. Randstrom will take it away. Sobush, third-year junior player, second year in the North American League for the IceRays captain. Sobush will get it right back. Goes to work, edge of the right wing circle. Wants to go rink wide, and the pass tipped. Konovich will quickly go D-to-D with Morgan. Colorado gets a change in. Randstrom. And a glove save by Sterling. And Sobush escorted to the ice in front. And that will cause some consternation. The two captains, Gurman and Sobush, getting mixed up at the top of the blue paint. And one of the things that you have to imagine for playoff hockey this weekend is, unless the officials absolutely have to get in and control the game, it's postseason hockey, so you have to imagine that there'll be a few more liberties allowed after whistles and such. Peterman and Rakowski for the draw. Peterman, another guy selected by the IceRays in the North American League draft a year ago. Didn't quite make the jump in year two that Sylvain Cloutier was asking or hoping for offensively, but he's become so good on the defensive side of the puck that it more than makes up for it. And now it's Peterman trying to sashay across the Colorado line, loses possession. Ryu will wind it around to the near side corner. Man takes the hit, chops it along for Rakowski, who gets smoked into the dasher. Peterman to the front, and the redirection effort from Gerhard goes wide. The one-time Wrangler. Now it comes up top for Hayek. Rakowski leaking out, asking for it. And instead it's Ryu across the Corpus line. Sidesteps the first hip check, looks for the trailer. Pass was deflected. Rolls around for Peters on the far side. Rakowski, Grolnick fresh off the bench. Still looking for that first goal since his return from Vernon in the BC. Now Noble. West gets involved. Second-year center takes a high hit from Kuznetsov. Keeps working, though. Grolnick up to the point. Helgeson thought about the load up. Instead banks it in. Comes towards Grolnick, who will gather it right back up. Noah, right wing circle and a body save by Montu. Now West, harassed by Krenke on the far side. He'll get it to Peters. D-to-D Helgeson. Near side, his wristers swallowed up by Montu. And 6:12 to go in the first period. Love the patience from Colorado around the perimeter. They're still getting good shots from outside, but they're waiting and getting the better shot from outside, which is exactly what you want to see if you're the Colorado bench. Send the fourth line out for an offensive zone face-off, and Nolan Smith, 3 goals, 3 assists in the regular season for Colorado. Smitty, in fact, wasn't really supposed to be here. It was a teammate of his that was being scouted on tape in Mason City, and then Nolan Smith, the rookie, jumped out at the Colorado coaching staff, and they said, let's give this kid a look. And he's become a mainstay in the bottom 6 through the second half of the year. Conway in the neutral zone goes east to west with Randstrom. Smutny tries the headman pass. Bowden gets a piece of it. That should negate icing, and it will. Randstrom harassed by Riles on the backhand. Riles still motoring away. Built for playoff hockey, the St. Scholastica commit. And out of the tie-up, everyone finally releases 3-on-3 for the IceRays on the counter. Conway, a head fake and a drop pass. Now Cranky goes down low. Conway tries to bat it back out in front. Smart idea from the one-time North Iowa Bull. Smutny. That was a nifty toe drag. His shot wide of the mark. Forced the issue, though. IceRays will send this 200 feet. It'll go for icing with 5:03 to go in the first period. When talking about how good Colorado has been in close games and how good they've been on the road, the one thing they haven't done much of on the road or in close games is jump on the front foot. Colorado in the regular season only scored first 21 times in their 59 games. Again, they, in some ways, the pressure is what they like, what they're used to. Poirier's redirection bid gloved aside. Nine shots for Colorado here in the first period, 4:56 remaining in the opening 20 minutes from Corpus Christi. Poirier, right wing face-off draw against Troy Pelton. And this kind of series really favors GP19. It's a heavy physical opponent, and that's where George can use that physicality and frame to help create some goal scoring and space. Ori knocked to the ice. Johnson tries to get it free. Comes out to Helgeson in the neutral zone. His dump in blocked. And now it's Kemp down the right wing. Tries to put a pass into the high slot intended for Pelton. Helgeson. Three grit skaters converge on the puck at the point. They do enough to force it out into the neutral zone. Peters takes the body. Helgeson feels the heat from Kemp. Right on cue, the checking starting to pick up in the latter stages of the first period here tonight in Corpus Christi. Helgeson will roll that as far as center red, scooped up by Max Randstrom. Committed to Lake Superior State. He had nearly a 50-point season this year. 49 points, 58 games. Rakowski tries to get that one free in the neutral zone. It takes a bounce, finds Lucas Mann down the right wing. Looks to lead Rakowski, intercepted there by Perot. Rakowski gets it back, though. Mann goes into the corner, tied up by Matt Green, the third-year player from Ontario. Now out of the tie-up again, the IceRays on the move, and Ryu, good stick in the defensive zone. Now Randstrom, the trailer, waits, puts it across the pass at the edge of the blue paint intended for Reardon. That's the second look in this first period where Corpus Christi has got guys in the right real estate. The pass has just been either too firm or off the mark, unable to convert on that backdoor play. 3:22 to go in the first period, 1-0. Colorado with the lead. Biederman and West, two of the best D-zone face-off takers in the division. Battle in the circle, Noble looks for the outlet. Taken away, and now on the re-entry down the near wing. Biederman towards the net. Smutny blocks that one with his shins. Puck bouncing around behind the grit cage, and it's Landon West. 96 regular season games for Colorado. A shoulder injury denied him the chance to hit the century mark this year. It's been a stalwart across 2 seasons for Colorado. West and Grolnick go to work in the corner. It's Westy. Knocked off the puck by Morgan. Noble turns around, bumps it up top. Junker, tape to tape. Smutny, now Grolnick. High slot, loads up. And a breadbasket save by Montu. And that's the kind of look and space that Noah Grolnick wants in that high slot. It's a guy that 3 years in the North American League for Grolnick. And you just look at how long it's taken him to find the back of the net, and it's just so out of character for the type of player that he is, the type of scoring talent that he is. Led the grit in goals last year with 12. And on the coaching staff, they said, we got a feeling about Grolnick that this might be the weekend he busts out of that slump. Had a great week of practice, looked very good at morning skate today. Could be a guy that might be pivotal if Colorado were to make an extended run in this postseason. Here they'll ice the puck with 2:22 to go in the first period. Oh, Colorado unable to get a change. But it's a reasonably fresh group out there on the ice. Defensive zone draw, Willie Johnson going up against Carter Krenke. Krenke wins it clean, gets it out to the point. Hayek watched by Poirier, the wrist shot. Krenke gets a piece of it. Peters drops his man in front. Carter Krenke wants a piece of the rookie. Conway came in with another shot as well. And the officials having a devil of a time separating Peters from Carter Krenke. Krenke pleading his case. Like I said, I don't know that they're going to do a whole lot. It was actually Conway that hit the deck first in front. Peters with a clearing shove in front. Face-off migrates over to the right wing. Krenke and West will take it again. Landon West, this is his spot in the defensive zone, and right on cue wins another draw. Noble harassed by Kuznetsov. Pavlovich, now Noble on the outlet, will hit West in stride. German off to the races. Down the left wing, German chip and chase for the Colorado captain. First ever captain in franchise history. Noble tries to roll it up top. Finds Grolnick, who holds the zone through traffic. Slings one high and wide of the net. Conway on the move. Kuznetsov asking for it. Great work from German. Delayed offside on Kuznetsov. And now Grolnick. Oh man, he is swinging down there in front of the grit bench. A late hit. Grolnick's bubble knocked askew. And that was Cooper Conway who got in there. Face off right in front of the Colorado bench. Yeah. Conway got a full piece of Noah Grolnick's mask, his visor. Again, the officials are letting him play in and out of the whistles, so that's what you want. That's playoff hockey, folks. That's all that is. Junker, his pass intended for Ori. Icing wave. Perreault, quick peek over his shoulder, pressured by Ori. Now it's Sobush. The Sudbury, Ontario product will chop that into the neutral zone. A deflection. A kind bounce for Pelton. Waits, throws it to the front. Nobody home, and now Poirier. Leaking out, has Ori with him. 2-on-2 for Colorado. Poirier pulls up at the left point. Goes downstairs for Ori. Ori to the right dot. Smutny through traffic. The effort towards goal blocked aside. Randstrom will pick it up. Can't get it away from Colorado, though. Behind the IceRays net. A minute to go in period number one. 1-0 Grit. Poirier on the turnover. Well, try and wedge this one in deep. He does so. Poirier on the forehand. Now Rakowski. Rakowski powers to the front. Hits the deck. There's going to be a penalty as Rakowski, a power move to the front. We'll see if that's the only penalty or not. Again, the initial call was against the IceRays. .49 seconds to go in the first period, and now the officials have to figure out who the guilty party is. Now looks like it's the Union College commit Troy Pelton being escorted to the sin bin, much to the chagrin of the IceRays fans here tonight. So Colorado back to the power play for the second time tonight. 0 for 1 on the man advantage, but certainly created plenty of trouble in the offensive zone the first time around. Number 2 unit out to start. Rakowski, Ryu, Mann, Smutny, and German. Germs now man off the hat wall. Great poke check in the high slot from Kemp. Forces Colorado out into the neutral zone. Mann does just enough, prevents the turnover. And now Ryu winds that around the far side wall. Mann trades places with Gurman. Now Rakowski waits, tries to put it in front, comes back to Smutny. Smart play to move it to the right wing corner. Rakowski goes to work on the backhand. Now Gurman trades places with Ryu. Gurman tied up, he's knocked to the ice. Rakowski, Ryu, 10 seconds to go in the first period. Smutny, left wing circle, a whistle, and a penalty. Is this on Colorado? Yes, it is. So Lucas Mann dejectedly being escorted to the box, and the Colorado power play negated for a minor penalty on the goal scorer from Woodbury. So we'll have 7.5 seconds of 4-on-4 time to close out this first period. On the other side of the intermission break, we'll play 4-on-4, and Corpus Christi will have a truncated power play. And here, if you're the Grit, obviously if you can break out off a clean win, you will, but the priority is don't give up any grade A scoring chances to close this period. Something they've done a good job of in the opening 20 minutes. Gurman will hold on to possession. He'll dangle and wait, and that will do it for the opening 20 minutes tonight in Corpus. Lucas Mann with the first goal in franchise history in the postseason. It's enough to give Colorado the advantage headed into the break. 1-0 Colorado on top here in Game 1 of this South Division Play-In Lounge Series. We'll step aside for a quick break. When we return, we'll get you caught up on the first period action, get you a look at the South Division playoff picture, and get you ready for period number 2. You're watching Colorado Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. 1-0, the Grit have the lead on the road in Game 1. first intermission here in Corpus Christi. Brendan Price with you. 1-0 Colorado on top after the first period here tonight. Lucas Mann with the first ever goal in Colorado Grit playoff history, coming at the 4:27 mark. Helgeson and Pavlovich get the assists, and the two combine to get Mann free in below the circles. A couple of nice moves, and Mann beating Benji Matu, finding the back of the net. 1 of 14 shots for Colorado in that first period. And folks, when the Grit are on track to outshoot their opponent on the road, good things happen. 10-4-3-3 overall this year for the Grit when they outshoot opponents 6-1-2-0 on the road. And again, we talk about Colorado, a 7-game road trip to close out the season, and it was a tough 6-game road trip rather for Colorado, this being the 7th game consecutively on the road. They went to New Mexico. It was a wild and woolly series in Albuquerque. The Grit got an overtime win, their 4th OT victory of the year. They in New Mexico had a couple of fights the following night, over 100 penalty minutes on Saturday rather, in a Colorado loss. Then they had to go to Odessa and Amarillo. They held on for an 8-6 win to clinch a postseason berth. They were shut out 2-0 the following night. The Grit resting some of their top guys. They did the same on Sunday, but battled back, scored an extra attacker goal with 5 seconds to go to force overtime, fell in the extra session. But this is a Colorado team that all season long they have been battle tested, and it showed on the road here in the opening 20 minutes tonight. The 1-0 lead. They outshoot Corpus Christi 14-9 in the first period, and the IceRays just did not have a lot to generate offensively. Pete Sterling had to make one really big save in the early going, sliding to his far post to deny the IceRays what would have been a go-ahead goal early in that first period. But all in all, for Colorado and the coaching staff, you checked every box that you wanted to in the first period. They got behind the Corpus Christi blue line consistently, generated chances down low. They took advantage of the odd man rush for Lucas Mann. The power play, although not finding the back of the net, 0 for 1, or 0 for 2 rather, in the first period, still an area that you like to see in terms of getting consistent looks for Colorado. Again, they weren't able to generate a goal, but they made Benji Montu's life challenging, to say the least, in the opening 20 minutes tonight. And again, just on the road here this weekend, 2nd road trip of the year. And just want to say a big thank you to Grit Country, everybody tuning in all season long. It has truly been a privilege to bring all of these games to you over the last couple of seasons. And much like the players out on the ice, it's a first-time playoff action up here for me as well, at least in the North American League, a whole different environment. And Colorado, as the coaching staff mentioned before the game, no pregame jitters. Again, a lot of experience with a lot of big games between this roster. Luca Ori, Nick Noble, both played in the playoffs last season in Provo. Willie Johnson played clutch games and clutch minutes down the stretch in Pueblo last year, as did Will Sinclair. You got Richard Rafai, who represented Slovakia on an international stage. He's backing up Sterling tonight. So again, no shortage of experience in tough circumstances on this Grit lineup tonight. And they've made the most of their opening 20 minutes. They've got the early lead. And again, Colorado and Corpus Christi, if the Grit were to advance out of this first round, they would match up with the defending Robertson Cup champion Lone Star Brahmas in the second round of the postseason. Again, the 1 and 2 seeds, Lone Star and Shreveport, have first round byes. Lone Star would play the lowest remaining seed, and Shreveport the highest remaining seed in the second round of the playoffs that would start next week. Elsewhere around South Division playoff action, just one other play-in series in the South. New Mexico has a 1-0 lead over El Paso. That game just starting the second period up at the Outpost Ice Arena in Albuquerque. The play-in round is as wide open as it's been in the last couple of seasons. And we mentioned Colorado getting into the playoffs for the first time. They benefited from good work down the stretch. They got the job done when they needed to. And for Colorado, January 24th was the date that the ship turned around the right direction. They fell 5-1 at home to Odessa. They were 4 points out of a playoff position, 14-18, 5-2. And at that point, the playoff hopes started to veer off track just a shade. Colorado had been as low as 7th in the regular season standings, slowly battled their way back into contention. And after falling 5-1 to Odessa, Colorado went on a tear. They got points in 7 of their next 8 games. They got a win over Odessa. They picked up a win in El Paso. They split at home with New Mexico. They split with Shreveport. And then the big one, they got pounded 7-0 by the defending champions in Lone Star on February 28th. And again, an opportunity for them to try and pick up some ground. And in the month of March, Colorado did just that. They split with Lone Star, they split with New Mexico, they split with Amarillo. They got 1 of 3 on the road, and then another 4 points as well in the regular season's final weekend to complete the climb and the comeback. And they finished just short of doubling their win total in the regular season. But all things considered, a successful year 2 for this expansion franchise. And you see it around the South Division that it is so tough to be an expansion team. It is so tough to make the postseason. It took El Paso until their 3rd year. It took New Mexico until their 3rd year. Again, we mentioned the IceRays. This is their first playoff berth in 5 years. And here, the Colorado Grit, not only qualifying for the postseason, but getting a matchup that in many ways, given the style, given the way that these two teams had played over the last 2 weeks, what they felt was a favorable postseason matchup coming into play. They've got the 1-0 advantage thanks to Lucas Mann after 20 minutes tonight. And it sets up an intriguing and exciting second period ahead of us. Again, thank you so much for joining us for Colorado Grit Hockey on NAHLTv or on the audio stream on YouTube. I'll step aside for a quick break. When we return, second period action from the American Bank Center on the shores of the beach in Corpus Christi. 1-0 Colorado with the lead. You're watching Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. Moments away from the start of the second period tonight in Corpus Christi. 2 carryover penalties as we enter the period of the long change. Troy Pelton serving a kneeing minor. He's got 111 remaining on that. Lucas Mann, it was a high stick called against the second-year Grit forward. And so Lucas will sit in the box. We'll play 4-on-4 for the first 42 seconds of the period, and then an abbreviated power play, or rather for the, excuse me, I'm not a mathematician. Sometimes I try, and then it turns out like that. We'll play 1/11 of 4-on-4 hockey, and then Corpus Christi will get 42 seconds on the power play. There we go. Colorado, some folks in attendance here tonight for the Grit. The Patch family, one of the billets, made their way down to Corpus Christi, and the owner, Bob Bowden, and team president Mike Beavis also arriving today here at the American Bank Center. Eager to watch Colorado in their playoff debut. And a good crowd tonight here at the American Bank Center on the road. Again, just going through morning skate with the players and just looking around. And one of the things they mentioned with looking at the seating bowl, the Jumbotron, is they said this is what they imagined a playoff environment on the road would look like, and they wanted to come in here, put their best foot forward, and they've certainly done that in the first period here tonight. Again, that 1-0 lead, the goal coming 4.5 minutes in from Lucas Mann. And I tell you, I'm up here in press row at the American Bank Center, and the good news or the bad news for me, I'm not sure which one it is, but I have the aisleway is right to my right, and I get to watch everyone bringing their delicious concessions right by me. Somebody walking by with a hot dog with grilled onions on there, and it smelled good, so I hope that person enjoys it. Colorado, again, they exactly what you wanted in that opening 20 minutes. And now, as is the age-old question for Colorado, it's going to be about keeping that gameplay, keeping that style up. We talked about Colorado. They have often not scored first. They have less often led after one period. They've done that just 18 times this year in the regular season. They had a good record. They won 7 of those games, forced overtime and 5 more. But again, for a team that very much the personification of the comeback kids, they've got the lead headed into the second period tonight. Exactly where you want to be on the road in game 1. The IceRays have yet to take the ice for the second period. And if you're Sylvain Cloutier on the home bench, you really got to think about the emphasis really has to be getting more pucks from a difficult range and angle on Colorado goaltender Pete Sterling. Again, Pistol Pete, 9 saves on 9 shots in the first period. Had that early test that he had to kick aside from Troy Pelton. But other than that, many of the looks that the IceRays got were from the blue line. Rebounds were escorted away from the crease quickly. And a lot of one-and-done opportunities for the second most dangerous offense in the North American League. Again, they entered play averaging 3.4 goals per game. Second in the North American League, first in the division. Colorado 4-on-4 will start this second period. Poirier, Johnson, Pavlovich, and Gurman. And the IceRays, again, moments away from coming back as well. And Colorado, on the year, they did their damage in close games, but offensively, they did much of their damage in the second period. This is by far the highest scoring frame that Colorado had in the regular season. They averaged nearly a goal a game in the second period across the regular season. And again, some of that owed to the style that Colorado likes to play. So much speed. They want to take advantage of getting in behind the Corpus Christi blue line. And when it's blue line to get off the ice, that's when the Grit are able to take advantage of long shifts and mistakes. to which they've capitalized on often in the middle frame. Benji Montu back out in goal, 13 saves on 14 shots in the first period for Montu. First time he has faced Colorado this year. He was not an IceRay the last time these two teams got together in November. And that was something I talked to the coaching staff about, and they said that really what they wanted to do, they focused on the recency of the tendencies for this team. These two teams had not met in 3+ months, and in many ways the regular season series, you could throw that book right out the back window in the car as you're driving down the street and watch it sail away in the rearview mirror. Conway, Kuznetsov, Allard, and Perot for the IceRays to start this second period. All the big guns out on open ice. Colorado wins the faceoff. Pavlovich will drop it for Gurman. Now Pavs shakes past Conway. Pavlovich across the IceRay line. Swings one on net off the end boards. Perot will scoop it up. He'll wait. Directing traffic. Perot behind the net. Third-year player tied his career high in goals this year with 3. Conway goes rink wide. Kuznetsov, edge of the right wing circle, looks for the trailer. Conway, pass right through him in the grit in transition. Poirier, quick peek over his shoulder, has Johnson with him. Offside here. Saw the idea coming, but Poirier just couldn't get released the pass soon enough. And Johnson offside, face off back out to the neutral zone. A half minute to go, 4-on-4. Face-off will shift to the far wing. The Kuznetsov line stays out for Corpus Christi. And again, Stepan Kuznetsov, Mr. Everything for this IceRay franchise over the last 3-4 seasons. It's the grit ice it here. 196 career points, franchise leader in goals. And I was talking with my counterpart Joey Erickson before the game about Kuznetsov, and said he's finished the year the way that he started it. Kuznetsov started the season on an 11-game point streak, finished it with points in 12 of his last 13, and had to weather a bit of a cold snap in the meat and potatoes portion of the year. Noble will back out of the face-off circle. Ori is going to have to step in and take it. Luka, 10 points in his last 10 games. Randstrom walks it in from the right point into the slot. Randstrom waits his snapshot wide of the net. That's where he wanted to be, though. Got Sterling moving the wrong direction. Perot sidesteps a poke check. IceRays seconds away from getting a power play, and Smutny will break it out. Braden Junker on the move. Junker across the IceRay line has his pocket pick. And Corpus 3-on-2, 3-on-1 in transition. Conway down the left wing circle, fake the pass, now put it across. And a great read from Smutny in front to work it away from danger. Conway sidesteps 2 in the high slot. Waits, gathers a drop pass, and not sure right away that the IceRays knew that was coming. They'll set it up, though. Conway on the right wing half wall, harassed by Ori. Conway gets around the poke check. He hits the deck. IceRay fans asking for a trip. Randstrom quarterbacks this first power play unit. Kemp, pitch and catch. Right wing circle. Valdez missed the mark. Colorado back at full strength. They're 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. The last time these two teams got together, Colorado against Corpus Christi, the Grit killed all but one penalty successfully. They were 19 for 20 against the IceRays in the regular season. Kemp pushes that one to the front. Sterling uses the paddle to poke it free, and man will spring Ryu, icing wave. Ryu, end over end with Allard. Now it's Helgeson in the neutral zone. Over 150 games in the North American League for Helgeson between North Iowa, Kenai River, and Colorado. It's Helgeson, the Alaskan, whacks it around. Man, smart play, lets it run for Rakowski, hits the linesman. Corpus Christi catches a slight break. Man dances into the low slot. Morgan takes it away from him. Now it's Grayson Gerhardt. Down the right wing, Gerhardt onside. Waits, lobs one across corner dump in, picked up by Rakowski, and Peters is driven into the end boards. The rookie slowly gets to his feet. Colorado clears the zone, and Peters tried to gingerly get off the ice, and now he's going to make a move for the bench. Gurman quickly pressured by Reardon. Riles scored his 4th goal of the year last Friday in Odessa. Coaching staff said Kennan built for the playoffs. This series has him as a factor written all over it. Grolnick gets it up to the blue line. Pavlovich through traffic. Shot knocked down in front by Watson. West will regather in the neutral zone. Colorado has to reset, but they'll do so with space. It's Riles. His wrister blocked by Konovich. Springs Green 2-on-2 for the IceRays the other way. 35 points last year in Markham in the OJ for Green. Grolnick on the takeaway. Has Riles with him. Grolnick across the IceRay line. His wrister tipped up into the curtains by Allard and out of play. 3:57 gone in the second period. Offensive zone faceoff coming for the top Colorado line. A year ago, the Grit had just one 30-point scorer. And right now, they've got 3 of them up front out on the ice, with Poirier, Ori, and Johnson. GP will take the draw against Pelton. Familiar opponents early on. Poirier goes to ground, looks for the biscuit out of the tie-up. Allard will lead Sobush. And the second-year IceRay captain through the neutral zone has his shot blocked wide. Sterling, a left toe save on the second effort. Pelton shimmies away from Johnson. Fake the pass in front, still with it. Now on the backhand, will push this one in behind the Grit net. Junker, Smutny, great play to one-handed along. Poirier rink wide, indirect pass looking for Ori. Tries to accelerate around Allard. Luca scored last Friday. Similar situation. Used the Jets, got around the defense, and beat Karanji. Now Gurman, outlet pass. Poirier will tap it along. Johnson will finish the job, and the Grit will get a change. Randstrom tries to tip it out. Cooper Conway through the neutral zone, side steps Riles. Gurman on the backhand. Excellent stick work in the corner. IceRays with possession. Randstrom shot tipped. Look out. That one started bouncing and skittering all over the place. Sterling with a glove save. Riles and Perot exchanging a couple of pops after the whistle. Those two guys, they're good for a mix-up, a skirmish or two. Riles led Colorado in penalty minutes during the regular season, and Perot paced Corpus Christi in that regard as well. 5:04 gone here in the second period. Grit retain the 1-0 advantage as they salute the service members here in-house. And that knuckle puck that Pete Sterling stopped moments ago, that's his toughest save of the night easily. That puck changed direction on the way in. And we talked about how Sterling, and when the tough get going, they turn to Pete Sterling between the pipes. Colorado has needed some big performances from him on the road this year. He has a couple of 40-save wins to his credit. One in El Paso, one in New Mexico. Did not face Corpus Christi when these two teams met during the regular season. Jack Erickson got all 4 starts. Perot holds the zone at the right point. Feels the pressure from Mann. Rolls it down low for Krenke. Now Rakowski loses possession. Conway loads up a one-timer. Sterling with the glove save. Grit clear the crease, and now the zone. Gurman across the line. Works around Randstrom. Gurman caught deep. IceRays try and accelerate on the counter. Conway begging for it on the left wing, accelerates around Pavlovich. Tried to go high short side, missed the mark. Puck caroms off the glass. Gurman thought better of the pursuit, and he'll hit the bench for changes. Morgan's pass nearly taken away by Mann. Those are the kinds of giveaways Colorado want to poach on the forecheck. Morgan up top. Konovich from the left point through traffic, shot tipped, and a right pad saved by Sterling. And Rakowski will move the puck away from danger momentarily. Konovich pinches in from the dot, loads up, and hits snapshot swallowed up by Sterling again. And already Corpus Christi starting to move offensively. 4 shots in this second period for the IceRays, none as of yet for Colorado. Talked about how big Pete Sterling has been on the road and in goal. Didn't face a lot of challenging looks in that first period. Has been more often and more urgently put into service. And right on cue makes another blocker save, this time on Troy Pelton. And I think the officials are figuring out if the puck was deflected. I sure thought from up here Sterling got a piece of it. The officials agree. Not that they have to agree with me. They're on the ice. I'm up here in the broadcast booth with glasses on, so my knowledge base, my vision, a bit limited. Kempf right off the draw, whips one. That's blocked by Junker, and he'll put it into the neutral zone. Konovich mishandled it. Goes into the Corpus bench, and faceoff will come out to center ice. Pelton and West for the draw. Pelton turns it back. Montu will let it run for Caden Morgan. 10 points in 16 games for Corpus Christi since being acquired from Odessa. Pelton on the headman pass, top of the left wing circle. Flips one high and off the mark. Hayek will gather it back up in the neutral zone and rip it around to the far side. Junker, great work with the stick, taps it along for Grolnick. He's off to the races across the line. Swings it for Noble. Slaps one on goal, got through Pelton. Comes back to Grolnick, evades a hook. West and Grolnick both pushing for the puck in the left wing corner. Comes free, and the IceRays out of their own zone. Sobush leaves it for Kempf. His spinning effort blocked by Noble. That one just tossed wide. Sobush again right through everyone up to the top of the blue line. Allard pinches in, sends it on goal, and Sterling again with the stick save. Fire drill in the defensive zone for Colorado. A block shot here. Noble still can't get it out. Sobush's effort blocked. Smutny has blocked 3 shots on this shift and just can't get off the ice. Another block shot for Colorado down low. Pelton pressing the advantage for the IceRays. Perreault, his errant pass looking for Gerhard on the half wall. Gerhard gets it back. Waits, shoots, a stick save by Sterling. Colorado, again, still can't get it out, nor can they get a whistle. Smutny drills Valdez in the corner. They try to separate and finally do. A delayed penalty here, and it looks like it's on the IceRays as Junker took one in the chops at the edge of the blue paint. And a Colorado much-needed respite comes by way of an IceRay penalty. And with 12:02 to play in the second period, Colorado will go to their 3rd power play of the night, 0 for 2 so far. They had the 1 full power play and then 1 abbreviated. And again, the Grit, when they get multiple power play opportunities, multiple power play goals, that's when they excel. Scored on the power play in 3 of their last 4 games. They'll start with the number 1 unit. And now the officials will head over to the IceRay bench. Sylvain Cloutier wants an explanation for the minor. He gets one, but I don't know that he's all that thrilled. Poirier, Johnson, Ori, Kerman, and Helgeson. This was the group that scored the game-tying goal on Sunday with 5 seconds remaining in regulation, at least 4 of them. Alex Kerman was a healthy scratch last Sunday. Colorado 19th in the league in the regular season on the power play. Kerman, top of the left wing circle, waits, puts it towards the front of the net. Montu with the breadbasket save. Ori the screen in front. The IceRays penalty kill, 83.5% during the regular season, 4th in the division and 14th rather in the North American League. Right at the edge of that top third. We talk on the broadcast about how hard it is to kill penalties in this division. Helgeson towards the net, shot blocked aside by Konovich. Colorado swarms the rebound, regathers possession. Johnson into the corner for Ori. They'll try and cycle for Poirier. Poirier and Perreault tie up in the corner. Ori jumps in to help. Kerman, Helgeson near side, one-timer tipped in front and stopped by Montu. Rebound gathered up and cleared by Corpus Christi. 40 seconds gone on the Grit power play. Kerman full head of steam. Outlet pass, Johnson. Dropped to the ice by Perreault. Probably the best hit of the night for the IceRays blue liner. Kerman uses the net for coverage, comes out, scoots down the right side. Kerman all the way across the line towards the net. Missed blocker side. Rebound, Karen knocked down at the point by Mann. He'll hold the zone. Now Rakowski goes to work. Tries to play it down low for Ryu. Allard will wing it around the near side wall and out. 10:43 to go in the second period. Colorado on the power play for the next half minute. Sobush thought he could have bled some more time off the clock there. Instead, Smutny will stretch it out. Rakowski chips it for the trailer. Ryu, he waits. His wrists are blocked wide. Rebound comes to Junker on the lap wing. Hatwell, wow, Karen's off a stanchion. Right in front, nearly right to Rakowski's stick. Junker, edge of the left wing circle. Smutny in the high slot. Head fake, holds on, lays it off for Mann. Lucas Mann down the hat wall, still in possession, opens up on the forehand. Smutny, one-timer, nearly snapped his stick. Ryu will gather it right back up, trying to hit the trailer man. Left wing circle. Corpus Christi back at full strength. So unable to convert on the power play. Great work by Smutny there in the neutral zone. Sidestep 2 hits. Now across the IceRays line. Rakowski for the trailer Ryu. Mann hit shot whistled low and wide. Puck rolling around behind the IceRays cage. Biederman to work with Green. One-on-one with Pavlovich. Green nearly stumbles into the left wing corner. Still able to spin a pass in front. Biederman, point blank, stonewalled by Sterling. Oh man, Billy Biederman was all alone between the circles for the 1T bomb, and Sterling needed every bit of the 6'5" frame to make the save. Noble turning and burning on the counter for Colorado, goes rink wide for West, and he'll just whack this one in deep. Again, Colorado trying to generate offense without getting burned on the pinch. Peters pinched, forced the issue, and then quickly retreated. West tries to go to work. He's tied up by Perreault. Those two still battling for the puck. Perreault's got his arm pretty well draped around West, who finally shakes free. Randstrom down the right-hand side. What a move around Peters. And Sterling with the poke check. Forced the issue. IceRays call for icing. They'll get it with 8:32 to go here in the second period. 1-0. Colorado on top thanks to the Lucas Mann goal back at the 4:28 mark in the first period. Offensive zone face-off for Corpus Christi. Cranky and West for the face-off. Clean win. West hits Grolnick, tries to start forward out of the grit zone, gains center red, and he'll send Nick Noble after it. One of 8 college commitments on the Colorado roster this year. They one-up themselves 7 a year ago in their inaugural season. Cranky Sachets around Smutny. Look for Conway on the drop pass. Kuznetsov will pick up where Conway left off. What a move by Kuznetsov, and just couldn't get turned around to shoot. Puck rolled off his stick at the last second. Morgan holds the zone at the right point. Smith tries to fly by and clear the zone. Puck still rattling and rolling. And Junker will move it into the neutral zone. Riles knocks it down, and it falls kindly for Cranky. Kuznetsov takes the hit from Junker, plays it in deep. Cranky to the front of the net. And a delayed penalty on Colorado, I believe. Conway ran into Sterling, but I think, at least from up here, it looked like Conway may have been pushed in to Sterling. We'll see what the case is on the other side of the media timeout. 7:42 to go in period number 2. 1-0 Colorado on top. You're watching Grid Hockey on NAHLTv. Out of the timeout, they did get Cooper Conway for the penalty, an interference minor going against the Andover, Minnesota product. So Colorado, for the 4th time, will go to the power play tonight. And these are the kinds of opportunities in a playoff setting that you do not want to leave out on the table if you're Colorado. 1-0 game, 7:42 to go in the second. This one screaming, begging for an insurance goal here if you're Colorado. Number 1 power play unit out again, and the IceRays win the draw. Konovich hits the deck. Ori forces the issue, and a makeup call coming. Ori's going to get a trip. So Luca Ori escorted to the box, and just as quickly as Colorado had the man advantage, it evaporates. As the second-year forward will serve the penalty, open ice for the next 1:56. So the IceRays will get a power play on the other side of the 4-on-4, but that's really a numbers only. They'll only have 4 seconds. Gurman hits Poirier tape to tape across the IceRay line. A glove save by Matu. Bobbled the rebound, but covered it up right away. George Poirier, a 4-game goal streak to close the regular season. Talked so much about what Kuznetsov has been for Corpus Christi down the stretch. GP19 has been that and then some for Colorado. His personal goal to start the year was 25 goals. Fell just 1 short, but one of just 8 guys in the South Division to score 20 goals during the regular season. It's an elite list this year. 3 of those 8 are playing in this game. Kuznetsov, Sobush, and Poirier. Pelton waits. There's one of those 20-goal guys, Sobush. Rink wide, Randstrom. Top of the left wing circle. Didn't have an angle to shoot. And now Poirier with a quick peek. Dips the shoulder, takes the hit. Pavlovich, his pass beyond the reach of Gurman for icing against the Grit. 6:53 to go in the second period. Colorado, first ever game in franchise history in the postseason. And they've acquitted themselves quite nicely over the opening 33 minutes. A lot of game left tonight, though, at the ABC, the American Bank Center, right on the beach in Corpus Christi. Gurman flies ahead, top of the right wing circle, waits, and a blocker save. Rebound comes right to Junker. He'll turn it away. Nice feed west on the backhand, knocked off the puck, tries to get to it on the second effort. A whistle. No, that's someone just whistling. Smutny through the neutral zone. Gets around the effort from Kemp. Smutny finally sandwiched. Puck rolls to the bottom of the right wing circle. Weston Smutny downstairs hunting for it. Konovich tries to wedge that one free. Waiting in front. The puck just behind Rakowski. And look out. Valdez off to the races down the left wing. Valdez looking across the pass in front of Kemp. Comes back for Morgan. His wrist shot high. Now Smutny, open ice here, favoring Colorado. His pass to the neutral zone picked off by Morgan. On the re-entry, Morgan doesn't like what he sees. Harassed by Ryu, knocks him off the puck. Rakowski uses the frame. Corpus Christi back at full strength. And so is Colorado. Randstrom, left wing circle, tried to go short side, rebound, pinballs back out towards Ori, fresh out of the box. And that one pinged off the corner glass. Everyone looking for the biscuit. And the one-timer from Sobush tapped aside by Sterling's blocker. Ryu tries to exit the zone. Ori was screaming for it in front of the Colorado bench, doesn't get it. Now Smutny and Ryu getting each other's way. Sobush can't get the pass. Great work from Helgeson on the recovery. Randstrom gets around a reach from Ori. Right wing circle, and there is Sterling again. That one, that hit the netting. It was an awfully late whistle with 4:56 to go in the second period. And we talked about on the top of the broadcast how high scoring this Corpus Christi side has been this year, how good Colorado is in close games. And again, the 4 regular season meetings between these two teams, 3-1, 3-1, 2-1, and 4-2. So it has really been kind of a meat grinder when these teams have gotten together, at least from an offensive and defensive perspective. A right pad save by Sterling there on the bid from the point. Morgan skips around Riles, stumbled, and now Mann will hold the zone for the moment for Colorado, allow the forecheck to go to work. And Lucas Mann, a 9-game point streak between the regular season and the postseason, tries to push that to the front. Smith can't get it turned around on goal. Pavlovich settles it for Colorado. Gurman through the neutral zone. Tape-to-tape pass. Poirier sidesteps Konovich. Now Conway. The Air Force commit Pavlovich. Steady hands at the blue line for Colorado this year. 17 games in the NA3 last year. 2-year high school player in Proctor back home near Duluth. And has been one of the most stable blue liners really in the division, quite frankly, not just in a grit sweater. Riles in front, gets the puck away from danger. This Colorado group at the end of a long shift. We'll see what Kennan wants to do. He'll gain center red, and he'll finally dump it into the near corner. Colorado will at least get a partial change behind him. Kuznetsov chips one to Green. Matt Green off the hat wall down the left side, and a breadbasket save from Sterling. Took away the angle on the near post. 17 saves tonight for Pistol Pete with 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. Colorado has the early lead. They haven't let it go yet. Johnson and Green face off in the left wing. Green, a clean win back for Randstrom. Wants the lane to open up. Shot was blocked. Peters will again push this into the neutral zone. Colorado continually just get the puck out of your own end. That's what they want to do. And the Grit successful so far tonight. Again, the IceRays, talk about how high scoring they have been. They were not that to close the regular season, just 2 goals in their last 3 games. They dropped a couple of games 4-1 and then were shut out by Shreveport 3-0. Colorado onside. Ori to the front. What a save by Montu with the left pad. Keeps it a 1-0 game and robs Luke Helgeson. That is a massive stop for Montu in the IceRays. and it could spring them the other way. Green down the left wing side, a shoulder save by Sterling. Rebound sends us end to end. Grolnick for Ori. Full head of steam, taps it to the front. Grolnick backhand pass across looking for Johnson, broken up. Now the IceRays in transition. Randstrom jumps forward, top of the right wing circle, looks to the front, and a pad save by Sterling. A two-car pile up in front of the Colorado net. Smutney's pass broken up. Grolnick will turn and chip it ahead. A couple of end-to-end opportunities here in the latter stages of the second period. Valdez looking for another one. Gurman whacks it up as far as the blue line. Hayek on the pinch, taken away by Grolnick. Allard will knock that back into the Colorado zone. Gurman knows the hit is coming, goes corner to corner. Allard takes the body. Gerhardt across the Colorado line on side. We'll roll this in deep. Junker can't get it away from Valdez. That one right through the low slot. Grolnick about out of gas at the end of his shift. Across corner dump in. He'll head off. Noble pressures Allard behind the IceRay net. Noble so good in puck retrieval on the forecheck. Trying to jam free. Can't do it. Biederman on the backhand will lob this one in. 90 seconds to go in the second period. 1-0 Colorado. The goal from Lucas Manback in the first period. Didn't think the IceRays could play it, and they could not. Puck played with a high stick. Face-off should be down in the offensive zone for Colorado. The Grit, just 4 shots in this second period, but they've been dangerous. Helgeson was robbed by Montu just a couple of minutes ago. Keep it a 1-0 game. Rakowski, clean one off the draw. Man waits, loads up. And Montu hits that one right in the IceRay logo. And I tell you, folks, Lucas Mann playing out of his mind right now. Talk about the 9-game point streak. Started the year in Des Moines in the USHL, came back to Colorado, wanted to get some more minutes, some more experience. And general manager Gavin Bickford from last year, he got promoted to the USHL with Des Moines, took Lucas Mann with him. He's the guy that got Mann to Colorado midway through last season. Kuznetsov will tip that along. Gurman will pick it up. Comes right back to Kuznetsov, who drills it in deep. Pavlovich, head up. Ryu through the neutral zone. Can't corral that indirect pass. Now Rakowski tries to accelerate, separates. Rakowski to the front of the net. And a right pad saved by Montu. Great power move from the second-year winger. Colorado in the midst of a change. Smutney will leave it for Junker. Pitch and catch between the number 1 Colorado defensive pairing. Pushing it forward. Randstrom, his outlet interrupted by Poirier. Sterling out of his net. Will wind it around the near side. Colorado plays it out ahead. Poirier tries to tip it around Allard. Again, that's what the Grit have wanted to do all night. Poirier will rip that one into the Corpus Christi zone. The noisemakers off and going here for the final 10 seconds of the period. One last look for Kuznetsov. The slap shot blocked. Comes right back in front. Johnson will whack it out of the low slot. And now Poirier takes a hit at the buzzer. The officials will quickly move in to separate Poirier and Cranky. 40 minutes gone here tonight at the American Bank Center. It's playoff hockey in Corpus Christi. It's tight, it's defensive, and it's the Grit with a 1-0 lead after 2 periods of play here tonight. We'll step aside for a quick break. When we return, we'll get you caught up on the second period and get you ready for period number 3. 1-0 Colorado on top. You're watching Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. Second intermission here in Corpus Christi. Brendan Price with you. 1-0 Colorado with the lead over the IceRays after 40 minutes tonight. And no goals in that middle frame, and that doesn't mean there weren't opportunities abound for both of these teams. Colorado had one good look, two really, in the final 5 minutes. Luke Helgeson trying to jam a low backhander past Benji Matu. Made the stop with the left pad twice to keep Helgeson out. Ben Rakowski was denied in front in the period's final 90 seconds as Colorado was pushing for some insurance right before the break. But Matu recovered nicely. He only had to make 6 saves in that second period, but he made all 6 of them to keep it a 1-goal game. On the other side, Corpus Christi, the offense finally generating some 5-on-5 play. They had a couple of stretches in that middle frame where they spent over a minute cycling in the offensive zone, but Pistol Pete Sterling coming up large, 10 saves on 10 shots in the second period for Sterling, making his first playoff start here in the North American League. Special teams, again, they continue to be a focal point in this matchup. Neither team can buy a power play goal when they get together. Colorado 0 for 4 on the power play tonight so far. Corpus Christi 0 for 2 on the man advantage after 40 minutes tonight. Well, the Grit protecting the 1-0 lead headed into the third period, and that is something that when they have done that this year, they have been borderline unbeatable. Colorado this season with the lead after 40 minutes. They are 18-2-3 on the year. So really this Grit side, we talk about how comfortable, how capable they are battling back from late deficits, playing close games. And this is the kind of team that is really, again, we talked about it, they are built for postseason hockey, just the way they manage the defensive zone. They're opportunistic offensively. And so far tonight, really both teams have had just 2-3 grade A scoring opportunities. The difference is Colorado has converted on one of them. As midway through the second period, Billy Biederman had a one-timer between the face-off circles. He was all alone, and Pete Sterling made the shoulder save on the one-timer to deny the IceRays likely their best scoring opportunity in the first 2 periods tonight here at home. Colorado trying to grab a road win to start a series again. We talked about how good they have played as of late in the win-loss column. Away from home, they won the first game of their Odessa series. They bounced back, grabbed a couple splits the last time they've been on the road. In fact, Colorado in 3-game road series this year, they've only lost a majority of road games 2 times in the second half of the year. They lost 2 of 3 in New Mexico, and then they lost both games to Shreveport in late January. But again, this is a battle-tested group. They put that to the test over the first 40 minutes tonight. That's when they've got that 1-0 advantage. And one of the things that the coaching staff mentioned before the game is you might see some flexibility on the blue line, but just 6 defensemen dressing tonight for Colorado as opposed to their normal 7, and that gives in some ways fewer options but more continuity back at the blue line for Colorado. And it's shown in the first 40 minutes that really when any one of those 3 pairs have been out there tonight, the effort, the compete, and the quality has been virtually indistinguishable on the back line. And this is again a Colorado blue line. You look at Alex Gurman, Evan Sputney, Braden Junker, Luke Helgeson. Those are 4 guys that have a ton of junior experience, all 4 of them over 120-plus games. They're all 20 years old, and that's the kind of veteran-laden leadership that Colorado wants at the back, and it's worked wonders for them through the first 2 periods of this unit's first postseason experience together. And Colorado, in many ways, has got the game right where they want it, scoreline-wise. 1-0, a good defensive battle with strong goaltending. And if you're the Grit, it's again finding opportunities to be opportunistic offensively in the third period. We'll step aside for a quick break. On the other side, we'll get you caught up on the other postseason action around the North American League going on right now, and we'll get you ready for period number 2 here, or period number 3 rather, from the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi. 1-0 Colorado on top after 40 minutes. Moments away from the start of period number 3 tonight at the American Bank Center. 1-0 Colorado with the lead over the IceRays, the number 6 seed, the Grit, their first ever playoff appearance in their second year as a franchise, and they have more than held their own. They've impressed through the first 40 minutes tonight. They have limited this potent IceRay offense to just 17 shots. Pete Sterling has stonewalled the red and white so far tonight. And for Colorado, we talked so much about this in the first period in particular, about it being about the first 5 minutes, establishing a tone, and that's what the Grit have to do in the opening 5 minutes of this third period here tonight. Again, they have done a little bit of everything tonight, but they've done all of it well. Timely offense, good defense, great goaltending. Even with the power play going over 4, they've generated good looks on the man advantage. They've done what they wanted to do, and you've got to love where you're at again if you're the Grit, getting ready to start this third and final period. the other play-in series in the South Division, the 4 seed and the 5 seed, New Mexico, a 2-0 lead over El Paso right now. And the consensus coming into the play-in series is this weekend was, again, 6 out of the last 8 Robertson Cup champions have hailed from this South Division. It is a tough, tough, tough division to get out of. It's a tough division to qualify for the playoffs in. And more this year than in years past, the conversation around the South was that this division is wide open-ish, basically 2 through 6. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night. We've talked about Colorado and how they have a losing record against Corpus Christi and Shreveport in the regular season, but they took the IceRays to overtime once. They took Shreveport to a shootout or overtime 3 of the 4 head-to-head meetings. They won the season series against New Mexico and El Paso. So this is a grit side that has saved its best for its best opponents here this season as the 6th seed with 58 points. And so far through 40 minutes, they've saved one of their best defensive outings of the year in the early going for their first game here in the postseason. It's exactly what you want to see if you're the grit coaching staff. And the thing for Colorado now has got to be, you don't want to start getting nervous. You don't want to start getting caught in your own zone, rather. It's really about what kind of gameplay, what kind of style has gotten Colorado to this point, 20 minutes away from their first win in the postseason in franchise history, in this, their first game in postseason history. And for Colorado, the question has really got to be, how do you start this five-minute stretch here in this third period? Don't want to make any mistakes. The game did open up at times in the second period. Both teams had a couple of odd man rushes with some caroms in that period of the long change. But again, both teams structurally have been very strong defensively. It's really exactly what you expect from a couple of benches that have a wealth of defensive knowledge and experience on them. No carryover penalties to start the third period here tonight. We'll play 5-on-5 to start the final frame in Corpus Christi. Again, big thank you to Grit Country for tuning in tonight. And all season long, it has been at times nerve-wracking with Colorado getting to the postseason. And well, one time I had a coach tell me that really when you look at the calendar, you split the season into 3 parts. You have the regular season, then you have the first half of the regular season where everyone's figuring everything out. Then you have the second half of the regular season where everything is known quantity. It's about establishing consistency, continuity, and getting to the playoffs. And in season number 3, that's the one you play for. Once you're in the postseason, all bets are off. You can throw out seeding, you can throw out regular season records, you can throw out all those numbers in the first 59 games and just focus on the 60 minutes in front of you. And Colorado, 2/3 of the way home here tonight in their playoff debut. 19 shots apiece for these two teams so far tonight. Benji Montu, 18 saves on 19 shots for the IceRays, his first look at Colorado this year. And Pete Sterling, 19 for 19. Made 21 saves and only allowed 2 goals in his last start last Saturday in Odessa. Colorado will start this third period with their number 1 line. Corpus Christi, it appears, will counter with their number 1 group as well. Talk about the quality of talent and the quantity of talent out on the ice. Corpus Christi, their top line, Pearson Sobush, he's going to Lake Superior State. Troy Pelton to Union College. Cody Kempf to St. Olaf's. They'll be teammates with Willie Johnson who's centering this number 1 line for Colorado. So Johnson and Pelton for the face-off at center. And the third period underway, a clean win for Willie, straight back. Pavlovich takes the hit, and you have to think Corpus Christi maybe a bit more aggressive on the forecheck. They had success in that regard in the second period, able to hem Colorado into their own end in the period of the long change. But sometimes that calculus can change when it's easier for defensive teams to get off the ice. Pavlovich screened off the puck by Pelton. Now Ori will chip it only as far as Allard, who steps in from the right point. Delayed offside, and Allard touches it, and then drills one off the stanchion. Clipped the referee on the arm on the way through as well. Allard, third-year junior player back at the blue line. Again, talk this Corpus Christi side. 17 of their starters tonight have played in at least 40 games for the IceRays. The only two that haven't are Caden Morgan, who they got from Odessa, and Nick Sinani, who's been in and out of the lineup. Montu will drop this for Randstrom. Keeps play moving. It'll get past Junker, and now on the foot race, Kroenke down the right wing. He'll pass it across, and Cooper Conway finds the back of the net. The IceRays tie it at 1, just 53 seconds into the third period. And there's the one breakdown. Cooper Conway, not a guy that will miss many of those. Kroenke raced down the right wing. The 2-on-1 opened up. Sterling sliding post to post. Tried to guess low, and Conway beat him upstairs. And now, all square back where we started, 1-1. Kroenke will get the primary assist there. We'll see if they award a secondary. And now, gut check time down the stretch. Perot will roll it up the near wing wall. It'll get into the neutral zone for Gurman. They'll play it forward. Kuznetsov on the takeaway. Now West gets around the first hit. West looking to the far wing circle for Grolnick. Gets picked back up. It's Conway, the goal scorer, on the move. Kuznetsov trailing, asking for it. Gets it back, waits on the forehand. Kuznetsov spins a pass in front, and Sterling stopped Conway right at the edge of the blue paint. And now for the Grit, it's about bouncing back that second shift after you concede. Icing waved here. Nolan Smith on the move, pressures Morgan, whips on the pass in front, comes to Riles. Riles indirect up top. Peters from the right point, shot blocked down. Still rolling in the right wing circle. Riles trying to jam it free. Comes to Smith. He'll keep trying to chop it along. That very well could have been a slash. Corpus Christi catches a break there. Shrapnel in the far wing corner. Riles still waits. Helgeson holds the zone from the blue line. His wrists are high and off the mark. Riles still working on the forecheck. Pass pinballs off the skate of Johnson. Helgeson from the left point, and a breadbasket save by Montu. And the officials have to come in and break up as some tempers flare at the edge of the IceRay crease. Helgeson dropped Valdez with a reverse check at the point. And while all that was going on, some consternation in front of Benji Montu. Okanovich was the first man in there. Willie Johnson came over to defend his teammate in the tie-up as well. And Colorado offensive zone face-off. Just 2:18 gone in this third period. Johnson will take it. Again, Colorado when they've held a lead going into the third period, they have been tough to beat this year. Owing to the solid goaltending and defensive structure, this is a group that knows how to close out games. Sobush, right wing circle, this pass knocked down, played with a high stick. And face-off should go all the way back down into the offensive zone for Colorado. The Grit, first ever playoff game in franchise history tonight. Why wouldn't it be another nail-biter with just a couple of goals sprinkled in? I know they have the specialty latte over at Aunt Helen's, but I think that this, the close game down the stretch, may be the Colorado Grit special. Johnson goes rink wide, wants Smutny. One hands it onside down the right wing. Smutny tries to bully it past Allard. Now Sobush, 3-on-2 developing for the IceRays on the counter. Kemp across the line, right wing circle. Kemp waits, pushes a pass through the crease. Got Sterling to overcommit. Again, too firm on the cross ice effort. Sterling rattles it out for Gurman. Now Poulier, GP19 spinning backhand pass, tapped along to Ori. He'll spin back, doesn't like what he sees. Now Ori across the Corpus line. Ori, right wing circle, pulls it back, tosses it in off the glass. Ori stumbled on his way to the bench, so he'll quickly head off and Colorado will finish a change. Krenke harassed by Mann. Gurman, D-to-T with Pavlovich. And that will go the length. Icing against the Grit here. It's uncharacteristic from Carson Pavlovich in his own zone. Again, he's about as steady as it gets on the blue line for the Grit. Rakowski and Krenke for the draw. Rakowski sliding over to center tonight. It's another big body forward. Had a very nice game in Odessa on Friday. Starting to heat up down the stretch. Ryu blocked the pass, lost his stick in the process. He has to head to the bench for a change. Perot sidesteps Rakowski, passes it to himself. Noble tips it, falls kindly for Perot across the Colorado line, 1-on-2 with Conway. Helgeson up the near wall. Rakowski down Broadway, pass hit Krenke's stick. And now the IceRays could have numbers. Great recovery from Colorado as Conway missed the snapshot high. Looked like it could have been a 2-on-1, but Colorado quickly getting two bodies back defensively. Made sure that that opportunity didn't come to fruition. Noble tied up at the right point. Nick Noble tries to go to work. Krolnick whacking away down there as well. Finally, West takes a couple of pops from Konovich, and the IceRays have possession. Morgan will leave it, and full head of steam for the IceRays through the neutral zone. Sinani, there's a stick save by Sterling. Rebound will spring Bowden through the neutral zone, hits Riles in tape to tape. He's decked at center red by Green. Colorado asking for icing there, they don't get it. Smutny drops his man on the hat wall, escorted Reardon to the ice, and then did it a second time. Biederman tries to jam the puck out of the tie-up. That's a penalty. Corpus Christi gets away with that one. West took a shot right between the numbers. Riles gains center red, trying to push this one in deep. Bowden on the forecheck, takes away the D-to-D pass. That one bounces to Gerhard in the neutral zone, across the Grit line. Gerhard's wrister deflected up into the curtains and out of play. 14-15 to go in the third period. And some more pushing, shoving, and score settling over by the Colorado net. 14-15 to go in the third period. Game one of this South Division play-in series tied at 1. You're watching Colorado Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. As a reminder, be sure to follow the Colorado Grit on social media, colorado.grit on Instagram, CO_grit on Twitter or X, and Colorado Grit on Facebook. Help the Grit reach 10,000 followers on Insta. And again, we've talked about it throughout the year. A big shout out to Christy and her team, Kylie Jasinski, Jaden Quinn, and everyone that works on social media for Colorado as the Grit continue to make a statement here in the second season in the North American League. Colorado, a 1-1 tie here in the third period. Johnson and Sobush face off in the defensive zone. Now it's Poirier, gains center red, and he'll toss this one in. Allard shadowed by Ori. Johnson got the takeaway. Ori tries to jam it in short side, can't do it. Johnson's pass to the front, and Matu comes out of the tie-up with the bouncing puck in the catching glove. Oye and Pelton for the face-off on the right wing. And now Peters, top of the right wing circle. Man, he's got a cannon tied up. Matu made the stop right in the IceRays logo. Face-off all over again, right wing circle. Poirier in to take it for Colorado. And GP wins it. Ori spins free, right wing circle, looking for the tip in front from Johnson, who has taken off the post nicely there. Johnson one-hands it around Poirier on the far side. Ori whiffed on the one-timer, got the look he wanted though. Peters through traffic, thunders one off the end boards wide. Now Poirier up to the point, Helgeson. Back for Poirier, that one towards the front. Ori tried to jam it in short side, and Matu right there to make the save again. 13:27 to go in the third period. And not that Colorado needs a reminder necessarily, but again, 18 of their 59 regular season games required overtime. A lot of time between now and then, but if you've been watching Grit hockey all season long, it's probably not the first time that thought has crossed your head down the stretch. A bad drop. Krenke gets tossed from the circle, so we'll have to do it again. Rakowski steps in to take it with Ryu, the trigger man, right behind him. Clean win for the IceRays off the draw. Allard tries to outlet for Conway. Conway will gain center red, loft that in. Sterling went to play it. And now Rakowski tries to turn it ahead. Rakowski, a hip check from Kuznetsov. And that one drilled Rakowski right on the outside of the knee. And it's not traditionally what you expect, but Kuznetsov may have been a bit lucky to not get hit with a kneeing call there on Rakowski, as Kylie Jasinski comes off the ice. And that, I believe, is the argument from the Colorado bench as well. That check on the near side, it took Rakowski's knees out from under him, and that's what the Grit bench is asking about. It's an explanation that they're going to get, but certainly not be thrilled with. 13:09 to go in the third period. Neutral zone draw, Ryu wins over to Grolnick. Now it's West into the left wing corner. Westy tied up by his opposite number. Morgan finishes his check on the Plymouth, Michigan product. Smutny goes for the pinch, one-hands it, and does the job, at least for the time being. Colorado's forecheck still trying to set up. Kuznetsov bumped by Smutny. And now Noble can't get it away from Konovich. It should go for icing, and it's waived. Smutny out from behind the grit net. Goes to West on the left wing. West through the neutral zone, across the line, leaves it for Noble. Noble wanted to get West, who was knocked down in front. IceRays on the counter. Conway down Broadway. Trails for Kuznetsov. The pass broken up by Smutny. Now Grolnick has Johnson with him. 2-on-2 for Colorado. Grolnick accelerates down the left wing on the forehand. Grolnick waits. Ori, the trailer, wants it. One-timer, Matu with a body save there. Ori hit from behind by Kuznetsov. IceRays come away with possession. Colorado got a great look in transition there. Gurman, the great captain, tied up by 2 in the corner, gets it out. Poirier's pass. Ori, Luca, drop pass. Johnson, top of the right wing circle. A stick save by Matu. Had Gurman crashing the front of the net, looking for the redirection. Ori who dropped it off, and again, that was the look Colorado wanted. Just couldn't get the stick extended in the crease from Gurman. Tipped that home. And this is about the time where you start to see guys grip their stick that much tighter. And I suppose that may be true for the officials as well. This is game 1 in the playoffs for them too. The referee, Mr. Baker, was talking before the game that he was got into town yesterday, got some fishing done down on the pier. See, the referees, they're humans just like the rest of us, folks. Caught a couple red snapper. Johnson twirled down on the half wall. And now Poirier tries to go to work on Allard. Gurman evades Sobush out from behind the Colorado net, off the boards and out. Ori tips it into the neutral zone. And Pelton on the back check will collect it. Hayek, D-to-D with Allard. Headman pass tipped along by Sobush, again behind the Colorado net. A more consistent forecheck from Corpus Christi here in this third period. Ryu picks Morgan's pocket, one against the world, lobbed into the dasher, and then took a second hit to boot. Sobush at the blue line. Now Peters one-on-one with Valdez. Fourth-year junior player, a lot of experience for Valdez down in the bottom 6 for the IceRays. Morgan will go D-to-D with Randstrom. Doesn't like what he sees, and he'll survey from his own end. Randstrom flips a pass forward. Valdez tips it along. Biederman, right wing circle, and a nice blocker saved by Sterling. Rakowski tries to spring man in the neutral zone. And it's the IceRays with possession. Good to see Racco back out for that first shift after getting knocked down. Valdez tried to bang it in front twice, and Pete Sterling with a huge save. And now we've got a Donnybrook behind the Colorado net. Smutny drags Biederman out of the tie-up. Helgeson smoked Kuznetsov into the end wall. Ryu wants a piece of somebody as well. He's still chatting with Billy Biederman. Grayson Gerhard, I believe, is going to the box as well for his role in the proceedings. The IceRay crowd less than impressed. Just about midway through the third period. We'll see if they determine those to be outside gameplay whistles. The 4-on-4 has favored Colorado tonight, though. They've created in space with the extra real estate. Referee Baker, a long conversation with the Corpus Christi captain, Pearson Sobush. And again, if you put the white and red glasses on for a moment, you can understand if you're Corpus Christi, you're asking, how does our guy get a penalty when he's just defending himself behind the net? It's a circumstance Colorado knows all too well. Gunnar Gleesman got hit with a penalty for that last weekend in Odessa. Just trying to not get mauled by three jackalopes at center ice. Junker through traffic, wrister blocked. West will work in deep after the puck. So 4-on-4 for the next minute 45. Randstrom, Perreault, Conway, and Kuznetsov for the IceRays. They'll go with the big guns offensively. Kuznetsov, one-on-one with Gurman. Waits, Conway whistles one wide of the glove side. Kuznetsov wants to go rink wide. Picked up by West. Grolnick begging for it in transition. Steams across the IceRay line. Left wing circle. His wrister swallowed up by Montu. No rebounds there. Offensive zone face-off for Colorado. The Grit now with a matchup they like. Their number one line out on the ice. Oye alongside Johnson, Gurman, and Pavlovich. IceRays win the draw. Kempf through the neutral zone, nearly at his pocket, picked by Poirier. So Bush and Allard, three forwards, one defenseman out for Sylvain Cloutier's side. Kempf, 1v1, crosses into the slot, tries to turn it on the forehand. Pavlovich uses that long reach, breaks up the shot. Grit in possession. Now Gurman through the neutral zone, sidesteps Kempf. The captain across the IceRay line, drops it, Johnson. To the right wing circle for Poirier. Didn't get a lot on that backhand pass. A whistle. And not sure what the issue is. .8:46 to go in the third period. And the referees are having a conversation right now. Again, not sure what the nature of the discussion was. Faceoff has come out into the neutral zone. Well, I'm a touch confused, but to be fair, that doesn't take much. And now some shuffling of personnel. Rakowski and Cranky for the neutral zone faceoff. Nope, Sobush will step in. Rakowski wins it back for Ori, tangled up by Perreault. And Ori, great work to tie up Perreault. Now Junker across the line. High slot. His shot low and wide. Junker will get it back, though. Has his pocket picked, 2-on-1. Cranky and Sobush. They have Randstrom with him. Sobush waits, left wing circle. What a block shot there. Great defending from Colorado to cut down the on-man rush. IceRays will dance at the top of the zone. Randstrom power move to the front. And a pad save by Sterling. Ori. Checked by Randstrom. Ori may have gotten a penalty. Whoa. Thank you very much. Randstrom hit the deck. Ori helped him out. And Colorado may have caught a break. Sobush on the forecheck, harassed by Ryu. Now Helgeson takes the hit, gets it across the line. Ryu, right wing circle, waits towards the front. Shot wide of the net. Peters pinches in, faked the first shot, tries to cycle it. And the IceRays will pick it up. Biederman, peek over his shoulder, doesn't have any help. And he'll send one on net. Sterling with the body save at the top of the blue paint. 7.5 minutes to go in the third. 1-1. Colorado and Corpus Christi all tied up here tonight at the American Bank Center. The winner trying to get the all-important 1-0 series lead in a best-of-3. As a reminder, Colorado Grit season tickets on sale, starting at just $320. The early bird rate good for the rest of the month of April. Be sure to lock up your season tickets while you still can to support the third year of Colorado Grit hockey. Back at the Ice House. Again, there's no guarantee that they won't be playing more games there this year. Again, passage through the play-in round means a home game. Defensive zone face-off for Colorado out of the media timeout. Everyone back at full strength, 5-on-5. West and Biederman for the draw. And again, we talk about how good both of those guys are in the face-off circle in their own right. Grolnick gains the neutral zone. Knocked off the puck by Gerhardt. Hayek has to get out of a zone traffic jam. Fake the shot. Now powers to the front. Tries to get it around Gurman. Good defending from the Colorado captain. West will spring Noble. Rink wide pass astride in front of Grolnick. He'll get it back. Puts on the brakes. Grolnick at the left point. Will push it down low. Allard. Back from whence it came to Hayek. Third year with the IceRays, a turnover. West, high slot, across. Grolnick and a glove save by Matu. He covered up the rebound. West got shoved into Matu, and the officials immediately come over to clean up the three-car pileup in the IceRay crease. No harm, no foul there. Landon West driving the net. He's another guy that Colorado coaching staff said the playoffs were made for a guy like Landon West. The kind of game he has, a 200-foot effort on both sides of the puck. Offensive zone face-off for Colorado. Rakowski will take it with Ryu standing behind him as the trigger man. Off the draw, IceRays control. Turnover, Helgeson at his own blue line. Tips it along for Rakowski. He gets dropped by Cranky at center red. That's the second hit in 3 or 4 shifts that Rakowski has taken, where he's needed to readjust the GPS a bit. Ryu, right wing. Tries to dance it around Morgan. Now Rakowski to the front. Man, oh, he went between the legs, and a blocker saved by Matu. Wouldn't that have been something special? Kuznetsov, the trailer, Conway. Excellent poke check from Ryu to take it away. Randstrom and Morgan pitch and catch in the defensive zone for Corpus Christi. Rakowski tried to hunt a turnover. Puck bounces around Poirier, shields it long enough for Junker to get there. Now GP19, one hand and can't get it away. Sobush on the backhand, and Pelton scores. Troy Pelton takes advantage of the giveaway in the defensive zone. And Corpus Christi, 2 unanswered goals in the third period. And with 5:48 to go, they have the lead. Junker and Poirier unable to connect, get the loose bouncing puck out of their own end. And all it takes is one opportunity, and Pelton finds the back of the net. And for the first time tonight, Colorado trailing here in game 1 on the road. Again, the grit, close games, this is what they do. Gurman tipped along by Poirier. That's up and out of play into the IceRay bench. Colorado now staring down the barrel of a 1-goal deficit. Not a surprise again that these two teams playing another close one. Johnson and the goal scorer Pelton at center red. Off the draw, Colorado moves it forward. Gurman from the neutral zone sends it on net. Breadbasket saved by Matu, and it's an offensive zone face-off for Colorado. Sobush and Kemp will get the assists on the Pelton tally at 14-11. Johnson And Cranky for the left wing circle draw. IceRays will gather it up. Gurman takes a shoulder check, can't hold the zone icing wave. Pavlovich pressured by Cranky. Gurman checks Cranky off the puck. Alex out of his own end, now Ori gains center red, flies down the right side, pressured by Allard. Ori jammed into the end boards. Puck dug out by Hayek. Colorado, a one-goal deficit, is going to have to send more numbers forward. Kemp, his pass across, looking for Sobush. Broken up, Grit in transition, 4-on-3. Johnson takes the hit, winds the puck around to the near side. Ori tries to jab it out to the blue line. Helgeson pinched in, kicks, controls only momentarily. Now it's West, fresh off the bench, puts it in front. Helgeson shot, sticked aside by Montu. Britt hold the zone again, trying to go to work. Perreault wedges the puck up on the end boards, looking to bleed some clock. 4.5 minutes to go. Biederman surges out of the IceRays zone, gets around Grolnick, gains center red, a backhand broken up by Helgeson. Grolnick, full head of steam in the high slot, over-skated, and Biederman will clear the zone. Gerhard, 1-on-3, waits for support, stumbles around Smutny into the corner. Grolnick tries to play it to the middle, taken away by Biederman in the high slot. His pass broken up. Noble will roll it back for Pavlovich. Under 4 minutes to go in regulation. Pavlovich, that should be a penalty. Man got wiped out behind the play. No play on the puck whatsoever. Gurman will play it into the corner. Rakowski gets a piece of it. IceRays again try and control. Ryu held. Now man up top. Can't get it to Gurman. Taken away by Conway. Great hip check from Gurman. And now it's man through the neutral zone. Waits, gathers, and bounces one in at Montu. His save into the corner. Allard will wind it around. It just skips past Helgeson into the neutral zone. Back in, delayed offside on Colorado. Conway. Outlet pass for Kuznetsov. Good work from Noble. Took it off of Kuznetsov's stick. Helgeson will gain center red and flip this one in deep. Colorado again trying to set up that forecheck on the cycle. Unable to do so here. Pavlovich the foot race with Conway. And Pavlovich off glass to Smutny. Evan through the neutral zone, tries to sashay around Pelton. Forced to thunder it in deep. Perreault again just trying to bleed the clock out. Noble in front. Grolnick just turned the one-timer wide. That was the look. Here the IceRays ice it with 2:21 to go in the third period. And a one-goal game, you don't have to pull Sterling yet. He is out at the hash marks, though, just in case. Number one line out for Colorado. They needed a late goal in the third period on Sunday to close the regular season. They got the empty netter with 5 seconds to go to force overtime. The stakes a bit higher, the circumstances all the more similar for Colorado here. And the question is, out of the timeout, is Pete Sterling on the bench or on the ice? He's talking with Richard Rafai, getting one more instruction from assistant coach Darren McCormick, and out of the timeout, Colorado will start with 5. Have to think that they want to win the draw first. Set up and try and get the puck deep before they risk running Sterling to the bench. But Pete is out above the face-off circles. So again, if the Grit can win the face-off and control cleanly, have to think that Sterling is a one-way express ticket to the bench. Top line out for Colorado, needing desperately a tying goal. Gurman holds on to it. Ori, top of the right wing circle. Here goes Sterling to the bench. 6 on 5 for Colorado. Ori ties up his man. Johnson, left wing half wall, gets it out to the point. Gurman takes the hit. Now Johnson goes to the corner for Poirier. Again, this group got an empty net goal with 5 seconds remaining on Sunday. Sobush clears it. Icing here. Gurman will hustle back, save a couple of precious seconds with 1:47 to play. Rakowski getting instructions from the bench. And I like this decision here. Smart coaching. They'll play 5 on 5 and keep Sterling above the circles again, just in case. Off the draw, IceRays win it. Foot race is on. Sterling will have to paddle it away from the oncoming Kempf. Johnson outlets into the neutral zone. Perreault picks it off and sends it right back in. Sterling can't come out and play it with Sobush in pursuit. He'll just tie it up in the corner. Under 90 seconds to go. Grit work it free. Gurman to Ori. Ori has that knifed off his stick by Cranky. He'll just push it right back in. Ori, fake the rink wide pass, gains center red, full head of steam across the IceRay line. 6 on 5, extra attacker on for Colorado. Rakowski takes the hit, holds the zone. Smutny nearly had his pocket picked by Cranky. Now Kuznetsov, full head of steam. Kuznetsov waits, dangles, the pass to the trailer broken up. Allard in the neutral zone, gets it away from Ori, chips it along. Puck still bouncing around in the Colorado zone. Ryu, rink wide for Smutny. 40 seconds to go. Smutny, east to west. Ori across the line, it's taken away. And Colorado still fighting down the stretch. Smutny across the line, looks to drop it for Grulnik. His shot high off the end glass. Rolls up the dasher, back out into the neutral zone. Delayed offside on Colorado. A quarter of a minute to go. Rakowski down the half wall. He's drilled. Biederman goes for the empty net, and he missed it. Icing. Right? It thought it hit somebody. They still haven't stopped the clock. They're going to have to put about 4 seconds back on the clock. Colorado is asking for them to add time. That was a late whistle. Yeah, they'll put a second and a half back on the clock, 4.5 to go. So really it all comes down to, it has to be a Clinton face-off win and a shot here if you're the Grit. And they lost about 3 seconds on the clock there, which, I mean, that doubles the amount of time you have left. West will take the draw against Biederman, and it all comes down to this. And 6. How many does Colorado have? They got 7. Ryle sits the bench. 6 on 5. Poirier for the clean win against Morgan. Clean win for the IceRays. And that'll do it. A 2-goal comeback in the third period. And Corpus Christi comes from behind to win game 1 and push Colorado to the brink. Winner take all tomorrow evening back here at the American Bank Center. A 2-1 Corpus Christi win. Third period goals from Cooper Conway and Troy Pelton do enough. A 28 save effort tonight from Benji Matu. His first start against the Grit, his first playoff start, and a massive massive 1-goal win for the number 3 seed IceRays, who snap a 3-game losing streak. These two teams are right back at it here tomorrow night. Colorado will have to win to force a winner-take-all Game 3 on Sunday. The lone Colorado goal from Lucas Mann back in the first period. The Grit defense held strong for 40 minutes, just could not find enough offense down the stretch to get over the hump tonight. All things considered for the number 6 seed, their playoff debut just on the wrong side of another 1-goal game for Colorado, their 24th 1-goal contest in 60 games this season, and one of those 50-50 coin flip kind of nights for Colorado. Had a couple of offensive opportunities, just couldn't get them to fall down the stretch, and the IceRays survive for the 1-goal win. Game 2 right back here tomorrow night at the American Bank Center, 7:35 p.m. Puck drop here in Corpus Christi, 6:35 p.m. back in the Mountain Time Zone in Grit Country. A big thank you to everyone tuning in tonight, supporting the Colorado Grit. Back for Game 2 just about 21 hours from now. Brendan Price signing off tonight. A 2-1 win for the IceRays. Brendan Price back here, the Colorado Grit post game, and I'm joined by newly coined Colorado Grit president Mike Beavis up here in the broadcast booth. And Mike, thanks for stopping by for post game. I know this was your first look in person at the Grit. You had to go through NAHLTv last weekend, and a good showing for the franchise in their first ever playoff game.
Yeah, for sure. A couple mistakes led to a couple goals, cost us a game, but all in all, I think they played pretty good. They represented themselves pretty good. Third period, I knew they were going to come out really hard against us. They did in the first minute. We missed a back check, cost us a goal. Later on, we had a turnover in our own zone. 2 mistakes, 2 goals. That's what cost us.
I was going to say that 2 mistakes, Ryan. It's playoff hockey, and that's what it boils down to at this juncture of the year. And you know, for folks that maybe aren't as familiar, joining Colorado here at the end of the year, Mike, you'll be the president moving forward. And just from a background and experience perspective, over 2.5 decades at junior hockey across multiple levels. And when you see what the team and the organization does in year 2, what are kind of your hopes and goals moving forward for the rest of the weekend and moving into next season?
Yeah, I think the guys are going to regroup. They'll be fine. You know, Richard's going to get them all settled back down. They'll probably watch some film. There's some adjustments to be made. Our guys were getting pinned in the offensive zone, turning up the ice. You know, Corpus was coming up the ice odd man rushes because they were pinning 2 guys against the boards. We got to stay on the right side of the puck, right? So, you know, I think the organization is going to be fine, right? Second year team, they're already in the playoffs. Yep. We have some big hopes. You know, I think next year is going to be a big year for us.
Yeah, and you talk about, you know, some of those hopes. Colorado this year, 8 commitments for the Grit across both Division I, Division III levels. And I know one of the things for you, that's an area of success that you've had both as a coach, as a president, across multiple levels. And that's really the ladder of development in this league, is continuing to push Grit players to the next level.
Yeah, we're gonna spend a lot of time. I've been spending time with guys all week. We got 3 more guys that we're gonna be announcing pretty quick here. And that's what I do, right? I put guys in school. I have college coaches calling me every day. I got advisors now calling us every day. So things are going to change really quickly around here. We had to make some changes. It was kind of a shocking appearance for me, but at the same time, it's played out the way we wanted it to, right? So going forward, we're going to give a lot of time to guys. We're going to help them get into college. We're going to make this program what it's supposed to be.
And I mean, you talk about some of those tweaks. Interim head coach Richard Matvachuk his second weekend in charge. The guy that, much like yourself, a ton of experience doing what he does. 12 years playing in the NHL. He's got experience coaching in the East Coast League, in Major Junior in the Dub. And, just what does that kind of resume bring, to your point, to helping guys get to that next level?
Yeah, it's huge, right? Guys are going to want to come here and play for a guy like Richard. He's proved himself, Coach of the Year in the Dub. He's got a Dub championship. He's a guy that's been around, like you say, his pedigree is insane, and when, like when I had the opportunity to talk to him and watched him in the first couple of days, I said to him, "You got the junior bug back, don't you?" And he said, "Yeah." So I know where he wants to be. It's just a matter of what we're going to do to get him here, and I'm really confident that Richard's going to be working with me next year for sure.
Just the distinction, some of the little things around the edges, just over the last couple weekends, watching and seeing, right, this is the approach of a guy that has done this at 3-4 different levels. And, he's exactly the kind of guy, the steady hand at the helm. A tough 1-goal loss tonight. You turn around, you watch video, you get ready with your backs against the wall for game 2. And frankly, the way the Grit have played this year, it's almost like that's where they want to be, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's hard to, playoffs are hard, right? It's hard to eliminate a team, right? So Corpus can't take these guys lightly because they're going to be in for a dogfight tomorrow night for sure. We don't want to go home. We want to keep playing, right? So we want to be here for Sunday now. So now our plan is to be here Sunday. We get here Sunday, we don't know what can happen. Then it's a 1-game series, right? So, I think we have a really good team. I think this is a team that could play at all during the year, that should have done a little better than what it did, but it is what it is, and now we got to make the most of it, right? But I think the guys here now, their hopes are high. They're feeling really good about things. Guys are excited that Bob and I made the trip down, so we're gonna spend some time with the boys a little bit tomorrow. We're not gonna get them off their game. We're just gonna say hi to them and kind of let it go and let them enjoy the playoffs, right?
Yeah, this is, again, we talked about it during the broadcast, that a lot of guys have playoff experience for Colorado, but it's different when you're that band of brothers doing it together. Yeah. First time for this group. A tough 2-1 loss tonight. Right back at it tomorrow. Puck drop at 7:35 Central Time, 6:35 p.m. Mountain Time for all of you back in Grit Country. Mike, thank you for joining me here for the broadcast post-game. We'll get you back here tomorrow as well, get a little bit more insight. And for everybody at home, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Colorado Grit Hockey on NAHLTv. Brendan Price, Mike Vivas signing off tonight. A 2-1 Corpus Christi win in Game 1 of the South Division play-in round.